what's up? This is Coach Stokes, Stokes House Boxing Academy. You got to stay ready so you ain't worry about getting ready.
Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back to Coach Stokes' Champion Creed. We're here where we dive into the minds of champions and uncover what it truly takes to succeed. I'm your host, Coach Stokes, and today we have a special guest, two-time Cruiserweight champion of the world, Stephen USS Cunningham. Hailing from the streets of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Cunningham's journey from the U.S. Navy boxing team to the pinnacle of professional boxing is nothing short of inspiring. His speed, agility, and technical prowess has earned him the respect of fans and peers alike. But beyond his accolades, Cunningham is revered for his integrity and sportsmanship, making him a beloved figure in the boxing community. Join us as we explore the mindset of a champion with Steve USS Cunningham. Steve, what's going on, dog? How you doing, baby?
Chilling, man. Relaxing.
How's the weather over there in PA?
Getting big. It's getting better. It was cold for the past week. Now we in the 60s today. So I'm actually gonna hit a run after this. So
well, I'm not gonna hold you up, brother. This
it's
man
good.
this man stays in top pinnacle physical condition, man. We thank you.
Try.
Hey, Steve, let's dive right into it. What drove you to pursue boxing while serving in the U.S. Navy?
It's boxing's always been something I say was calling, man. I'm coming from Philadelphia. Boxing was everywhere, especially in the 80s, early 90s. Boxing, was all over the place. Anybody you meet, I used to box. You see dudes fighting on the street, they were squaring up like real pros, so boxing was always part of Philly. My dad loved boxing. I used to watch Sugar Ray Leonard and those guys on ABC when I was little and just be like, wow, so I wanted to box. I never did before I joined the Navy because I was doing other things and I just couldn't get to a gym. But I didn't have any support, and I didn't voice I wanted to box, but it was just in me. And I joined the Navy, and the Navy boxing team was literally close to the base where I was stationed at in Norfolk, Virginia. So I just started training, I just started training myself.
You how did your military experience influence your boxing career?
Through the conditioning, the work, the hard work, the running, the push-ups, the weightlifting. That helped me be stronger. It influenced me, and also joining the Navy, man. It's coming from just living in the hood with mom and brothers and sisters to boom, you're a man now. You're on your own. You got to do this, you got to do that, that. So it gave me things to accomplish. And I wanted to accomplish being a great boxer.
I ask everybody because they always ask me, why did I join the service? But what was your reason? What was your reasoning for joining the Navy?
A couple reasons I joined the Navy. One was to get college money to, because I was originally, my original plan was to join. Was to go to the Art Institute. Because I can draw. And that was my original plan, to be a graphic designer, make comic books, make characters, da 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 da. But I didn't get accepted into any schools because I didn't put out any paperwork. I didn't know. My mom never went to college, so I just didn't know how to prep. So now it's like April, 12th grade year, and I'm like, oh, what the freak? I need to get out of Philly. Second part is, I used to run the streets of what they say and, do weird, I ain't say weird, but, do bad boy stuff. And I stopped, but I knew at that age, 17, 18, 19, I'm like, I could drift back into that. I had I'll say a voice, a voice was like, you got to get out of Philly. So the Navy recruiter came to my advisory class within weeks of this voice saying you got to get out of Philly or you're going to get back into that street life, which I didn't want to. I really didn't want to. And boom, after he came in, he said exactly what I wanted to hear: college money, travel the world, meet girls,
Yeah, right.
make
Uh,
some money. I was out, that was it.
Definitely, definitely. Can you share a moment in your amateur boxing career that helped shape your boxing career?
Oh man, I got a few. I'll say the earliest moment that really helped shape my boxing career outside of like winning my first big fight. My first fight was the biggest at the moment, but now I'm like what 18 fights in, and I just won a national title, the national Golden Gloves in 1998. Man, I had less than 20 fights, so I won it at the light heavyweight level, and that really convinced me, I can do this. I'm going to go try to make the Olympic team, and if not, I'll go pro. But I felt that national title is what made me be like, you can do this.
You
and
know
and
what?
and oh, let me finish. Not just that I can do it because I've been doing it, but
Yeah.
I mean, like, be a champion, be somebody in this. I didn't just want to fight and just be that guy getting beat up, or no, you can go be a champion. So that's what that said to me.
That's right. That's right. You knew for a fact that you could be on the A side, not not
Yeah,
not being not being a career. Nothing against them being a career journeyman or being on the B
yeah,
side and fighting for rip money. And
right,
that's we'll talk more about that because I have a lot of cats that's looking to turn pro and they need to hear this. They need to hear the truth.
right, right,
Um,
right.
you sacrifices. Sacrifices when it comes to the sport of boxing is very important. You and I both know, man, you have to be all in. Like my hoodie says, it's a
It's a lifestyle.
lifestyle.
It
It's a
is.
lifestyle. It's a lifestyle.
Completely.
So could you tell us some of your sacrifices that you have made in order to pursue, your boxing career?
Uh, like, as an amateur, I sacrifice, like hanging with the homies. I sacrificed that community of friends that I had in the Navy. When I started boxing, I started, I was sparring and I would get dead tired in like the second round, third round, and I'm like, Coach, why am I getting tired? He like, you running? I'm like, what's that? you, so from
Right.
there, I just hit the road. I was running. So it's like, I got to get up. I got to run. I got to put this work in. I got to
Uh,
lift weights. I got to sprint. I got to do this. I wanted to not ever get tired in a fight. And so from there, in that mindset of trying to be great, you have to peel back from some things. I mean, I'm not gonna say I didn't club, because military life is all nightclubs and traveling and having fun, but I made sure I put my work in, and that basically meant getting up early, doing my run,
mhm.
weights, and then going to the gym later. Like, we weren't chasing girls, at that point. It was just, until it was club time. Then we got arrested. But as a pro, man, it becomes more severe. Like the sacrifices you have to make. You have to sacrifice time with your family.
Yeah.
That's the biggest one.
Yeah.
I went to training camps with tons of fighters, man, for weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. There was one time I was in a camp. I was in a camp for myself up in Big Bear, California, for 2.5 months. Two
Wow.
and a half months. Getting it in. Bored to death because there ain't nothing up there to really do. After the first 3 weeks, went to the little movie theater. Went to every little store. It's like, man,
Exhausted
I'm
all that.
bored. It's,
Yeah.
it's, it's redundant. So
Yeah.
that the traveling to train, the sacrifices of, I gotta go to the gym today, I gotta run today. Same thing. I gotta run, I gotta lift weights, I gotta sprint, I gotta swim. You gotta find time to do all these things. And no doubt, I've been married 20 years, and me and my wife have talked, and yeah, stuff did affect, my wife or me, because the time that but she understood. Hey, I understood this. I understood that. Now, here's a short story. My wife had to get her pancreas taken out at a point, and to me, like when I get tunnel vision. World champion, being the best, being unified, da da da. That is the goal. And it's not that I said my wife and kids are secondary, but it's like, man, listen, if they ain't about to die, You know what I mean? If they ain't about to starve, I gotta go to the gym. You know, I mean, and that's just the way I was, man. Be the best. So my wife got her pancreas taken out. I was at the hospital with her, and you know, they're saying it was not a big issue, but you know, I stayed there until I was waiting for them to bring her back because I'm like, I gotta go to the gym at 5 o'clock. I gotta go to the gym at 5 o'clock. So I left before my wife came back up. And my wife was just told me years later, she was just like, I was hoping you were there when I got back from surgery, but I knew it was time to go to the gym, and I knew you was going to go to the gym. So she just was like, it was I understood. But it's like now I think about that, when she was telling me now, it's just like, damn, I could have waited a good another hour and 40, you know what I mean? But that's just where I was at with it, man. Like, so that's the things you sacrifice, man. And these type of sacrifices can ruffle the feathers in your marriage, your relationship, possibly end it. You know what I mean? That stuff is rough, man. But it's good to have a partner that's on board. No bullcrap.
It is, because my wife has been with me, man, and she understands. And I'm glad you said that, because in order, and I tell fighters this all the time, you have to have a little bit, not a little bit, but you have to have a selfishness about you when it comes to the sport. You have to,
Yeah.
just like how you said, it was like, you know what, I'm not gonna stop what I'm doing. Hey, you know what? The end goal is to be the world champ.
Yeah.
That's just it, and you talking about a dream that you have accomplished that less than 1% will ever do, man. Can you expand on that? Because you got a lot of these young fighters out here. Everybody wants to be the champ, man, but they don't understand, man. It's much more than skill. It's much more than it's the entire package. Steve, can you talk about that?
No doubt. Becoming a world champion, there's a like Stokes just said, like you just said, bro. Skills part of it. Linking with the right people. You're having the right team. Determination is a lot of it, because if you're determined in this business, there are going to be things that get thrown at you that's going to make you be like, bro, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do this. Is it, you know what I mean? Is it worth it? The times when I was getting paid less, man, I was getting paid so little. It was crazy, but a good thing, again, I had a partner that was there to help. Hey, listen, I'll take care of the bills. That's what my wife said. And, and you can train and do what you got to do. But everybody's not in that position. So even just that business side will break fighters, but you need determination. I believe it's determination, skill, help, the team you got, a little luck. You know what I'm saying? A little luck's in there too. Blessings, whatever y'all want to call it, wherever you at in your spiritual walk. Blessings, luck, help from the Most High, and faith in yourself, yo. That's the biggest thing. You have to believe what the freak you in yourself, what you have in you. You have to believe, like, yo, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be there. I have tons of books. I have books right here. These little composition books where I would write down my day. You know what I'm saying? Hey, this is what I'm going to do. This is what and I put at the top, Steve Cunningham, world champion. This book probably 20 years old. You know what I'm saying? I used to write that stuff down. World champion, best in the world. This and that, unified champ. I write it down like every day, put my regimen in there and go do it. Now, in boxing, things will happen. I've got you take a loss, you just got to keep going. You got to keep pushing. You got to be determined, tunnel vision, and like the energy you put in, it will come back. It'll actually come back twofold, because I put in some serious work, man. Put in work.
Steve, and I'm glad you said that. That was my next topic. How do you handle those setbacks and failures within the ring?
It made me work harder. I was so, my first loss.
Yeah.
My first loss was in Poland, for a world title. Mm-hmm. And it just made me work hard. Shoot, I'll go back to my amateurs. I lost in the U.S. Nationals. My first trip to the U.S. Nationals, my first fight of the week was against the Anthony Stewart. I think it was like number 1 or number 2 in the country, probably like number 4 in the world. And he won the fight. I swore I won, but I'm so passionate and emotional we arguing, and I thought I won, but he outpointed me. And the next day I was back in the gym, because I'm my thing is I have to work so hard. I have to be so good, so much in better shape that nobody is in better shape than me. That nobody is more skillful than me. And my trainer at the time came into he came into the gym and was like, man, you working the day after you lost in the Nationals? He's like, man, you gonna be champion. And that's what he said to me. This is 98, and I'm just like, I'm working because I'm mad, I'm angry. Nobody should be able to beat me. That's the way I felt. So as a pro, I lose my first fight, and actually it wasn't a loss. It was a robbery because I'm in this other country, and I was crying. I'd be home, and I'd like those angry tears, and I took it to the gym. To work harder, press. So, I won that rematch. We got the immediate rematch. I won that. Such a great experience for me, a great feeling. But then, a couple years later, I get another loss. And that anger of somebody can say they beat me was a driving force for me all throughout my career, all throughout it.
So, Steve, let me ask you this. What role would you say mental toughness plays in becoming a champion?
Mental toughness is, I'd say, probably about 70%, 70%, because you need mental toughness in all aspects of being a fighter. The first aspect, getting your butt up to go do that road work. That's mental toughness. If you're sitting down, you're relaxing, you comfortable, you laid up with your girl, bro, you can ask my wife many times, babe, I gotta go running. I gotta go run. I gotta go swim. I gotta go do these sprints. The mental toughness to just get up and press and do that early in the morning, that's needed. That's key. The mental toughness to get through fighting a guy that's in shape just like you. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's in the same shape. That's going to be a rough road. And it's going to take the guy who's some of these fights, the winner is due to the guy who has the most mental toughness. Then you have the business. The business side of the professional world in boxing is a mess. It can drive people to be like, I quit, I'm good. Money gets funny, percentages aren't right, you're not getting this, you're not getting that. That can offset you. And then now you got to fight the next day, and now your fight's off, so mental toughness even there. You got to have mental toughness all around. That's why I say it's about 70%. The other percentages is most definitely skill and being in shape. But if you don't have mental toughness, none of that matters. You know what I mean? Straight up.
Yeah, man. And a lot of athletes and a lot of people don't know. It takes, I won't say a miracle, but it takes a lot just for these fights to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to understand, man. Most fighters don't go in the ring 100%. A lot of them get damaged or get injured within training camp. And they still have to push through. Like you said, with the promoters, things can happen to numbers, the ratios can change, and like you said, a lot of times they just think that you guys just get in there and you're gonna make all these millions of dollars. That's not so. That is not so at all.
Oh, it's not. I have fights that people are like, man, I know you made $1 million with that Fury fight. And I'm like, I wish. I wish, it's not like that, so not for all fighters. I know fighters who've been killing it, and because they've aligned themselves with the right people in the sport, in the business. They got the right hookup. For me, that wasn't my path. I came out of the Navy. I started boxing as an amateur at age 19. So I wasn't in it as a kid, and once I got with this guy, I got with that promoter, and me and my wife managed me. We met, me and my wife, my manager, and we made it work. We made it work.
Very, 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 very smart. You ain't need to worry about no middleman or anything like that. Nope. You know where everything is coming, where everything is going. I love that. I love that. We'll talk more about that. Steve, so what's your pre-fight rituals and routines that you do before every fight? Can you share with us?
Yeah, at the time, I was a big religious, I was a Christian, so my pre-fight rituals, like in the weight room, most definitely I get in the warm up, I get in the room where we change before we go out, and I stretch. Like my stretching, even in working out, I go to the gym, when I stretch, I take my time to stretch, because it's like meditation for me, you know. And I talk, I pray, I affirm myself, you know what I'm saying? While I'm stretching, it's like a spiritual thing for me. You know, my stretching would take like 20 minutes. I'm getting right. I'm mentally preparing myself to train hard as hell. I mean, harder than I ever, you know, I was with Brother Nazim, them training, yeah, listen, hard training. So from there, now we're in the fight, I'm ready. I'm in the room ready to go out, and I'm doing the same stretching, get up. Me and my wife and my team, who I had my assistant trainer was a pastor. So, you know, and then Nazim was a Muslim, but, you know, he joined in with our prayers. We're a team, you know, we're all on one accord. And we say a prayer, you know, voice what we want to happen. You know, if it ain't the Most High's will, we accept what comes, you know. So, but we gonna go out here and do our best, you know. And so that's basically my pre-fight ritual, man. And just zone out, you know, zone out. Most definitely music plays a huge part. You know, got my specific tunes that I run to and I train to. So I'm most definitely listening to those and just getting relaxed. Because the nerves will eat you alive.
Oh, you know what? The nervous is the biggest thing, because every time when I used to fight, I used to say to myself, like, why am I doing this again? But it was for the thrill, it was for the rush. It was just like, man, I gotta do it. And then when you survive, when you get through it, you be like, I did it. Okay, I did it. I did it again. And you go on repeat. You go through training camp, you go through everything again. So I totally understand that. How do you stay focused when it comes to an intense training, you know, when it comes to training, when it gets really intense? How you stay focused, brother? Because, you know, I have people that ask me, like, how do boxers do it? You know, I don't understand, you know, how you know, how they live that life. And I tell everybody isn't meant to be a fighter. And that's okay. There ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, it's a rough life, it's a rough sport.
Right.
You know, it's just something that, you know, you and I both know what you have to go through, but how do you get through an intense training session?
Like, for me personally, like you just said, it ain't for everybody, you know. And I'm sorry about that. I don't know who's calling me. And
You good?
outside of that, I want to add, everybody's not meant to be a champion, you know, because there's a level of push and a level of you know, like determination that champions have, that some average, and I'll use the word average fighters or just fighters don't have, you know. And that's why these guys set themselves apart. So I basically, you know, like, all right, let's use Floyd Mayweather for an example. You know, he would go to the nightclubs, wouldn't drink, and would jog home. You know, that's a level of determination it's like, really, bro, that's what you're doing, you know. So me personally, I would the way I get through these training camps is like the challenge. I love the challenge, you know. I love a challenge, you know what I mean? Like my fight with Tyson Fury, I set that fight up. I was the one who started heckling him on Twitter because I saw this big 6'9" guy undefeated from the UK, and I'm like, bro, if I beat him, then they'll fall in line with me possibly beating Vladimir, you know, because that was the whole thing in America. Who can contest Vladimir? We need somebody in America to challenge Vladimir. And I'm like, it's me. I can do it. I went to camp with Vladimir, and I'm not talking, you know, it is what it is. You know, man, listen, there were people there, you know, fighters there that saw the work I put in. And I'm like, I can beat that dude, you know. So let me get Fury, let me get this guy and put the work in. And, you know, thinking he was just a big heavyweight. So that's the type of, you know, challenge that's within me. You know, I want to challenge myself. So I get to these training camps, and it's like, all right, today I'm gonna get through this like this. Today I'm gonna push. Today, you know, I'm tired as heck, but I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. That's how I get through the training camps, man. It can be redundant. You're in camp 6 weeks, 7 weeks. Whew, man, that stuff. But and also for me, I also stayed in shape throughout, in between the fights. You know, I was still going to the gym every day. I take about a week off, after a fight, and then boom, I'm back running, back in the gym, back learning. My thing was to learn, stay in there, learn. I have a master trainer, brother Nazim, and I'm like, I want to get as much as I can from this guy. I want to learn so much. So I'm in the gym, boom, boom. He's telling me, Steve, take a break, bro. Steve, rest. Steve, I'm like, I'm good, man. I want to learn. I want to be here. So that's the type of challenge, man, that I just want to face things that people say you can't do.
Yes.
And even me, like that look hard. Oh, that look difficult. I'm gonna try it.
Thank you for and I want to piggyback on that, because what is the difference? You said, everybody isn't meant to be a champion. So,
Yeah.
and that is right. That's true, because it takes a lot. It takes a lot. A lot comes with that. They don't understand. A lot comes with being a champion. But what is the difference between a champion and a top level contender?
All right, a champ in my eyes, a champion, and I'm going to go back to something Nazim says, right? There's a saying that he's used for us, and it's like, he says a champion will look at a situation and see an opportunity, versus a normal regular person would look and see it and they won't see the opportunity. They'll see an opportunity to defend. It's like a champion will attack in certain opportunities. The average person will try to protect themselves. You get what I'm saying? So
yeah,
in saying that, it's there are things that champions are willing to do that people who don't become champion weren't willing to do it. Like those sacrifices. We go back to the sacrifices. There's certain sacrifices you got to do. Like really, how many fighters? I wasn't even doing, like I mentioned, the Floyd thing. Dude's running home from the club, 3 a.m. He jogging home.
Right.
Like, wow. Going to the gym 3 times a day, man. I'm gonna go. All right, I went, I boxed, I ran. Now I'm gonna go to the gym and lift, work on shadow boxing some more. Wake up in the morning, start running, do it over. It's gotta be repetitive. Boxers or top athletes have to seem insane. You have to. It has to seem like something's wrong with you. Right. I got to do this. It's got to seem like that. That's when I see a fighter like that, I'm like, cool. He's going somewhere. You know what I mean? He or she's going somewhere, because your focus is being the greatest, of being the best. If that's the focus, then you're gonna seem insane to normal people. So some top tier guys who don't get to be champion, a lot of it, I'll say a bit of it, is business stuff, you know what I'm saying, that stops them from becoming world champion, and or opportunity, or they get in there with guys that are just on another level, and it's like, how's he on another level and he's not? Like, wow, and it's the sacrifices, it's the things you're willing to do.
Yeah, I had somebody tell me a long time ago. They said a champion, unlike a contender, he's good, he's very good, he's sound, but he may run into some obstacles, and it may be tough for him to get around those obstacles. But with a champion, he's not going to stop until the job is done.
Yeah,
he's not. He's going to have that mentality. He's always going to have that mentality. You know what? I'm willing to go the distance without knowing the outcome. Exactly. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother, for elaborating on that. What advice would you give? What advice would you give aspiring boxers that's looking to get into the professional realm?
A couple things. One, take it as serious as you possibly can. This isn't a regular sport. I wouldn't even call boxing a sport. Like you said, like you got on this shirt, a lifestyle. This is a lifestyle. It's a way of living. Me personally, I couldn't go to sleep unless I did my 200 sit-ups and 200 push-ups. I could not go to bed. I'd jump out of bed with my wife and be like, I got to do my 200 push-ups, do 4 sets of 50, do my 200 sit-ups, boom, boom. So now I'm at the place where I can't even get out of shape. I did that for 15 years, 15, 16 years. I can't even get out of shape now, so, but that's the conditioning you got to be in, and so you got to condition your mind, to constantly push. Now, here's another bit of advice is always think, if you always think your opponent is doing a bit more than you, then that should propel you to do more. That's what I would always do. I would always think, yo, I'm fighting this guy from Germany. I know he's running. I knew at those times when it's like, man, I don't even feel like running. But it's like, shit, I know he running today. You know, I'm gonna go.
Right.
This mother might be running 3 miles. I'm gonna run 4.5. You know, I would do stuff like that. You self-motivate. You know, self-motivate. Lastly, for new guys coming in, make sure this is what you want to do. You know, make sure it's what you want to do, because boxing is not. It's everything. It's great. It feels good. You know, you feel like the man, but that's when you win it. You know, there's gonna be times where you're gonna get hit, boom, you're gonna question yourself in sparring, like, what the whoa, that bro hit hard, or that's how they hitting out here. You gotta make sure this is what you want to do, you know, be serious about it, passion.
Steve, has there ever been a time where you there was a fork in the road where you say, you know what, I don't know if I want to do this anymore?
Yes. Man, I've had that numerous times. I mean, yeah, I've had that a few times, because the business, for those who know my career or follow my career, I'm 30-9. You know, I've got 9 losses. I should probably have 4 losses at max 4 losses. You know,
Right.
But probably 3. But about 5 of those losses are robberies. You know, because I'm traveling out of state, out of country. I didn't. And my wife was my manager. I didn't have a powerhouse manager to protect me, or a powerhouse team. It's just me, my wife, and brother Nazim. So we were just getting what we got off of hard work and then, you know, intelligence from the team. Man, say the question again. I just lost my track. I'm sorry. I lost my train of thought.
How do you I believe did I ask you, what would you
all right, I got it. I'm back. What was the roughest thing, something that almost knocked me off track?
Oh,
so,
right.
Yeah. So I have a story, just a short one. You know, I was 11-0 with a small promoter. Went through 11-0 once a year. Actually, I mean, I'm sorry, once a month. One of those months I fought twice a month. You know, beginning and end, just little shows, making no money, $100 a round. And my manager at the time was like, "Listen, I'm gonna take you to Don King." Big promoter, you know, just 2001. I'm like, let's go. You know, we go to Don King. I'm 11-0, 9 knockouts, and Don King wants to sign me, of course. And I was told I was eligible to get a signing bonus by my manager.
Okay.
You know, 20,000, 25,000. I'm like, yeah, baby, we here now. Like, yeah, let's get this money. Sitting down with Don King, he's basically like, oh, no, we don't do signing bonus. And my manager's sitting there like, he's happy to be there. And I'm just like, oh, man, I'm peeping all the vibes. And my manager says, hey, Don, he looking for the signing bonus. And I'm like, bro, you said this what it was. And Don's like, I can guarantee you a shot at the title. That's all. I don't give out signing bonus. So I was pissed. Yeah, I was super pissed. And now, and I can feel the vibe of Don King. You know, I can feel it. Like, this dude ain't 100. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm like, it's not what it seemed, what I was told. Now I'm in here and I'm just like, I'm not comfortable. I don't like that I'm not getting the signing bonus. I'm pissed at that. And I signed the contract. And then he tells me, he sees me visibly shaking. He can see I'm shaking, like mad. And I'm just like, so he's like, listen, Cunningham, if you feel like you want to do this tomorrow, let me know and we'll rip the contract up. And I was just like, I knew that was bull. I knew that was bull. And I'm just like, all right, man. So I went off. I immediately went out and called my wife, and I was about to cry because I'm just like, man, it's fucked up. My manager ain't do what he said he's supposed to do. This thing seemed right. So I thought of a stupid idea, but it was. I just felt this way. I was like, man, I'm gonna throw my first fight with Don King, you know, on his show. I was gonna throw it in order thinking of that would get me out of the contract.
Oh,
but yeah, you know what I mean? Because I'm like, I don't want to be here, you know, and it just wasn't what it said. I felt I was more valuable than just not a non-signing bonus, you know. And you know, I talked to my wife about it. She was like, "Nah, we're not going to do that." So yeah, I mean, I got I ain't gonna say talked out of it, but it was just an idea, and it was stupid, because if I would have lost that first fight, he'd have kept me on board and just used me because of my record. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
and that would have made me look bad. So yeah, that was the thought though, man. And that's how rough it can get, in the sport. You know what I'm saying? So that was something that almost derailed me, big time.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah.
How many fights did you do with King?
I went from 11-0 to 19, 20, 21 to 22. Yeah, so I did about 10 fights with him. I fought with Don for 8 years. At some point, I fought like once a year almost. Sometimes some years I fought twice. Beginning, end, but that was probably like 2 times. But yeah, I fought majority, especially when I became a champion, which was 2007. I fought once a year with this guy, and it was ridiculous. That was ridiculous because I'm like, this is where we stack the money. This is where we stack money. I want to fight. Boom, I fight this guy. I want to fight in 3 more months. I want to fight in 2 more months. I'm making 200,000 here, 150,000 here. As a cruiserweight, that's the money that was available to us. I wasn't making millions, but that was better money. That was more money than my parents ever saw in their life. For working 1 year or 1 year. They didn't see that in 2 years. So I'm making this crazy, good amounts of money, and I want to make more though. So it just didn't happen, and it's just crazy,
Yeah. Is there anybody that you wish you could have fought, past or present?
Yeah.
Like some of the old fighters, like who?
I mean, old fighters, I would have loved to have fought in like Roy Jones.
Roy Jones, okay.
That would have been dope, man. I again, the challenge, none of these names I name, I say I fully believe, I'll beat him. No, nah, it would just be just for the challenge. And I know I'd learned from the fight. You know what I mean? So I'd learned from the butt whooping, that too. So
who are your top 3? Who are your top 3?
Top 3 would be Roy Jones. I would have loved to have fought Roy. I'd love to have fought Evander.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Damn. Talk about some serious crap. And let me go in the back. Let me go in the past. You know what? I'm gonna go far back in the past. I would love to be matched up against Jack Johnson. Yo, that would be crazy.
Wow.
Just because the style back then was just different. It was different. That was and again, like I said, these 3 names I named, I'm not saying, I beat them. No. I don't know. But now present or at the time, like today, David Haye. I would have loved to have fought David Haye. He was unified cruiserweight champ. I still had the last belt, the IBF, and he vacated and went up to heavyweight. And I'm like, bro, let's do this. Let's go. Because he's claiming on Showtime, I unified the cruiserweight division. And I'm like, no, you didn't. Right. You just got 3 of the belts. Here's number 4, one of the majors.
Let's make it happen.
Yeah, but he dipped out. He dipped out. I was just like, this guy. But I would love to have that fight. He's a powerful, sharp, quick fighter, but he did start slowing down after like the 4th, and I think I'd have been able to weather that storm and make something happen. But that would have been a good run.
No, I know you would have beat him. I know you would have beat him. That's facts on that, for real.
Yeah.
Steve, how do you balance being a professional athlete with your personal life?
You know what? One thing I was able to do, and it's just great, is bring my family into being, into my life as an athlete. Like I said, my wife was my manager, so she went where I went. When it came to fights and business, everything was dealt with through us. She set up the trips, training camps, so there goes that part. Now we have my sons. I had 4 kids, 3 sons and a daughter, but at the time it was just Steve Jr. And Steve Jr., listen, I take him to the gym with me in the car seat. All my kids went to the gym in the car seat. Boom, boom, sitting them up there. And especially Steve Jr., he started, just hitting the bag, so I started training him as an amateur. And then my daughter was born with the heart defect, so she was like kind of in the hospital a lot. But when she got out, she's in the gym with us, Then Cruz, my 13-year-old now, he came out punching. He came out throwing punches. And so we're like, yeah, because we're already on board. Oh, my kids is boxing, because Junior's doing good.
Yeah.
And Cruz gets in there and and he's a boxer. So we're boxing family, and that's how it's been. Now I got number 3. He's 7 years old, Messiah. And I'm gonna take my time with him, like I did Junior, because Junior started at age 9. So Messiah's 7. Well, I'm letting him play around on the bag now. He's in kids boxing class. At my gym, we got my other trainer trains it. He knows how to hold his hands. He knows how to run punches. But I want him to want it. He says he wants to box, but I'm gonna let him grow up a little more.
Yeah, you know what? I just want to give you a salute, man, because you are a dad. Not only that, but you are a Black dad, and you're doing amazing things with your family, man. You're just making a Black man like myself just want to step my game up and go hard every day, man. I'm for real, man. I'm for real, man. So I love what you're doing. Me and my wife watching what you guys are doing, man, when it comes to just how you guys are grooming your kids to go to the next level, man. So that's amazing to me, man. I thank you for sharing all of that, and I know for a fact all your kids are gonna be successful. I know that. I know that for a fact, man. Steve, can you share a memorable victory that has taught you something valuable about yourself?
A victory? Oh man, I got a couple of them right there.
Go ahead, share with us.
All right, let me see which one would I do. So all right, I'll say my fight with Amir Mansour.
Oh man,
I'm fighting. Yeah, I'm heavyweight. I'm fighting for his heavyweight title, USBA heavyweight title, and this dude is undefeated Mike Tyson. He's an undefeated southpaw Mike Tyson. Like, he's got that kind of power. He's knocking everybody out. Boom, boom, boom. And I didn't want to fight him because we knew each other. We sparred together. He helped me get my second world title back because I was fighting southpaw. Yeah. And it was good work. And I know in sparring, sparring is sparring. But it's like, and this dude hit hard. He hit hard. He's heavy-handed. So we get the fight. We get the call for the fight. We're like, all right. They gave us the money we asked for, which really wasn't a lot. Because we were lied to about the amount of money that was out there. Another story. But we take the fight, and in the fight, I get knocked down twice. Man, knocked down twice, and it's like, wow, like what the freak? And I've got knocked down before and got up, and to continue to fight, win some, lost a couple, but this fight meant a lot because it was dealing with my daughter and her heart transplant and all of that whole situation, and it just showed me that nothing can stop me when I'm focused. When you know what I mean, like my goal was to win that fight because I'm fighting as a cruiserweight. We didn't make a lot of money. Now I'm fighting as a heavyweight, and I'm with promoters who are penny pinching, and I'm not making heavyweight money, and I'm trying to get there. They keep saying the next fight. So I gotta win this fight. I have to in order to get to that bag that I want, that I'm looking for. The determination, it showed me, and then I'm in the ring. I'm fighting this killer with in my mind, my whole family situation. The Philadelphia hospital, Children's Hospital, told us to take my daughter home and make her comfortable 2 weeks before that. Basically there's nothing else they can do for her. She's gonna die, and we're good. So I'm like, now, and I'm 2 weeks. We're 10 days away from this big fight. I get this info, and I'm like, what? So, but it showed me that I can condense everything and just focus on what's in front of me, get that job done, and then boom. Now I got to deal with that. Also, it showed me I can how to take energy from my situation and pull it within, man. And man, I was able to get up 2 times and then get a knockdown. And outbox him and win the fight, So, man, boxing will show you what you're made of. It will show you what you got inside you, and it will show you if you're weak or if you're strong, or if you're stronger or weaker. It will show you, man, straight up.
It definitely will. you would have to look in that mirror and just have to face them demons or those obstacles where it's like, I
Yeah.
really don't want to do it. And then you have
Right.
to overcome it. And my next question is this: what do you feel like is your greatest strength as a boxer?
Oh man, I think my greatest strength as a boxer, I think it is my ability to keep going. You know, I think whatever that is, determination, my conditioning. That's what I'll say. My conditioning. The work I put in at my cardio, my swimming. Yo, bro, I was swimming, cardio, rowing machine, stair climber, this hills, da da da. Like I see, like even now, I live in Pittsburgh. There's a lot of hills out here. I see a hill and I'm like, run that. I'm gonna dominate that. You know what I mean? That's me, man. And that's me, man. So but that made my conditioning top tier. Like I used to watch fights like Oscar De La Hoya, B Hop, you know, Fernando, Floyd. I used to watch them dudes and they never get tired. It seemed like I'm in the gym, and I'm like, these dudes are not like that. What are they doing? And it's like, man, you just gotta keep that running going, keep that cardio going. What else? Swimming help you get stronger? I'm swimming. You know, rowing machine, I'm rowing, you know, all of that stuff.
People don't realize boxers is the ultimate. You are the
Athlete.
ultimate athlete. You know, like
Yeah.
you are a triathlete. You're doing everything.
Right.
You're running, you're
Right.
jogging, you're swimming, you're doing
Yep.
everything. And like you said, when I first started boxing, I thought they just lifted weights and got in there and fought, man. When the
Yeah,
coach was
yeah.
like, yeah, get out there and run, I'm like, run what? Why I gotta run? You
Right.
don't understand that though, man.
Right.
It takes a lot. I thank you for
Takes a
sharing.
lot.
Thank you for sharing that. How do you approach studying your opponents before a fight?
I look for key things. I look for key things. I look for what shape you look like you're in. You know what I'm saying? Because I look for that and I look for speed. Those are the two things I look for. I look for your speed, how fast you are, and I look at, yo, is this dude in shape? Like I can look at your body and be like, all right, if this dude, like, all right, here's an example. I got an opportunity to fight Guillermo Jones 2008. I'm sorry, 2006 or 5, whatever. And he was a former world title challenger, moved up to our division, 6'3", my height. I got a chance to look at him on tape, and he had a beer belly. He soft in the stomach and it kind of stuff. And I'm like, I looked at about 15 seconds, or I'll say 30 seconds of that fight, and was like, I'm gonna beat him. You know, that was a bit arrogant because he was very skillful, very skillful. That was a tough fight for me. It was a split decision, you know. So that was a good fight, but he's very skillful, but I beat him because of my conditioning versus his conditioning. And that's the first thing I noticed. I'm like, yo, nobody with a soft belly is going to beat me. That's the way I thought. That's the way I think. That's the way I challenged myself and I motivated myself. I looked at his stomach and I'm like, bro ain't in the shape. He don't do what I do. I can see it. I look at his calf muscles. He don't have definition. So that means he's not working like I'm working.
Yeah.
You know? And
yeah.
And I'm like, that in itself was a motivator for me, because I'm like, he's not going to be able to withstand me in the deep waters, you know, because that fight went in the deep waters. So short story on that fight, we're in like, that was a 10-round fight. It was for the WBC #1 spot. And I'm tired. I'm tired to death. And what really made that fight close was I wore black leggings all the way down to my ankles. I didn't know, you know what I mean, that crap was keeping the heat in, and I was just getting drained as the fight went. Right. I was overheating, but I still was pushing. And so it was like, what, I'll say the 7th or 8th round. I stand up, like, you know, before they ring the bell for us to fight. I stand up because I'm always in the corner. I'm looking at my fighter. You know, I'm looking at his body language too, the guy I'm fighting, you know, see if he's like dying and something, you know, and he's tired. I can see him like, and then I stand up. So I'm like, oh, I see him huffing and puffing. So I start bouncing. I stand up and start bouncing. And he looked at me and then looked down. I was like, ooh, I got him.
Got him. Got him.
I got him. He looked at me and was like, yo, this mug still got energy. And yeah, we went to 10 rounds, man, and he was just drained. And I got the split decision win. But that's what I look for, your speed, because those are things for me that I'm concerned about. If he's fast, all right, I got to do this. Is he in shape and fast? Ooh, it's gonna be a rumble. If you ain't in shape, man, I'm gonna burn you out.
You already know. You already know that.
Yep.
What motivates you to keep pushing your success, even with all the significant achievements that you've had in your career?
The challenge, man. Legacy now, the challenge and legacy. It's just about, now that I'm a name in boxing, it's just adding to that, Yo, Cunningham just won. He's a 2-time world champ at cruiserweight. He just won the USBA heavyweight title. Oh, that's great. Yo, Cunningham just won fight of the year, but IBF fight of the year. Great. Just keep adding. Boom, keep adding. Yo, Cunningham just beat the MMA guy. Boom, keep adding. I just got the Triller belt. Boom, keep adding. Cunningham's sons, national champs. Boom, keep adding to the legacy. That's my goal, man.
And that's the big thing. We as men, adding on to our legacy.
Yeah.
I tell my wife that all the time, man. Like, don't no man want to leave without having some type of legacy.
Right.
The way that you going, Steve, they name rec centers after cats like you, man, for real.
That's
So
what's
you
up,
might,
man.
yeah, I might smoke something. You might have a recreation center. I'm just saying one day.
With it.
Yeah.
I'm with it. I like that.
Hey, how do you define success in the context of boxing?
Ooh, man. I'd say there's two levels of success in the context of boxing.
Okay.
One, most definitely becoming a world champion. Becoming a world champion is success. Like, boom, it's obvious success. Becoming a world champion, defending that title, getting more titles, that's all in becoming a world champion. I'd say that's success. Also, the second one, if you're a fighter and you didn't become a world champion, but you made some serious money, that's success. Because in boxing, you could be. I know world champions who've made peanuts. I know some, and it's bad. But they made the Hall of Fame, but they ain't bought a house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They ain't bought a car. They weren't able to experience going to the car dealership and shelling off 30,000 for that car or for you know what I mean? Boom, give me that. That's mine. They weren't able to experience that, but they're in the Hall of Fame. But they, for their state or even the Canastota Hall of Fame, they're in the books as being a world champion, which is success. But you got guys. Let's take Ryan Garcia for a great example.
Yeah.
Will he be champion? I don't think, as of right now, I don't think he beats any of the champions in his weight class. I don't think he beats Tank. I don't think he beats Devin. I don't think he beats any of them guys. Ryan Garcia possibly won't be a world champion, but Ryan Garcia made $20-something million.
Yes, he is.
$29 million. Success.
Yeah.
Success.
Yeah.
Success. He can stop boxing and never work for anybody again. I was asked last year, what's more important? What would you want more? Millions of dollars or a belt? I'd say the money. I would take the millions of dollars. Why? Because when boxing's said and done, they forget you fast. They forget you quick.
Yeah.
When boxing said, when you're done, unless you're Mike Tyson, we all ain't gonna make that level. Mike Tyson and who else? And Ali. And Mike is making money off of his name, so that's great. But even Mike was broke.
Or that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? So, but Mike had the name. He had that second part, the fame. The name. But I mean, from the first part, from being a world champion. Now, they asked, which one would you do? Would you take the money or the belt? I want the money, because with the money, I can listen. There's life after boxing. The boxers stay at top for a max 5-6 years. 5-6 years, a max. Now, I've been blessed to be at a level in boxing to where I can, and in shape that I can jump right back in. Da 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 da. I've been fighting back and forth, 15 years at the elite level.
Yeah.
But that's not everybody. And so a fighter has a good 5-6 year window. I say when a fighter becomes world champion, yeah, give him about 4 or 5 years. They most likely going, the belt's gonna be gone. Now, here's another example. A fighter wins the heavyweight title, wins the IBF title. Curtis Martin. Curtis Martin wins the heavyweight title. He gets the opportunity to fight Anthony Joshua, who we all know Anthony Joshua gonna kill him. We know that. We know there's no way Curtis Martin is beating. I think that's his name too. Yeah, the heavyweight southpaw. Forgot if I'm saying it wrong. I'm sorry.
Is he the one that had the dreads?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
I forgot whatever his name is, but he took the fight, of course. Why? Because they fought for about $10 million. There was $10 million on the table for him. So so it's like he traded the belt. He traded the belt. If Mike Tyson would have been like, yo, I want to fight Cunningham for his belt. Heck yeah. Because why? Because I know there's gonna be some millions behind that. So I'd most definitely take the money. I can take that money, buy real estate, and that money and make money, boom, 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 or do something else with it. It'll make money, that type of money. So, but those are the successes, bro. Coming out with some paper on the belts.
Yeah. The belts are good, man, but like you said, the belts are not monetary. The belts aren't going to go anything, aren't going to go anywhere. I've even heard of taboo, crazy stories of champions even selling their belts, man, trying to get money. You know?
Man, it gets rough out here, man. Look, fighters, you got a lot of these guys, like my sons. They've been fighting since they were 9 years old. Cruz been fighting since he's been 8. You got these fighters and they become world champion. That's all they know. Yeah. So unless especially the older fighters from the 70s and 80s and 90s, some of them. But after like the 2000s, you have a lot of fighters that started. The understanding of the fighters is we need lawyers. Mm-hmm. We need to spend this money off into something else. I'm gonna put my money into this. George Foreman did the grills, this and that. Shoot, you see Shaq. Shaq got Chick-fil-A. Shaq got this, that. All this money. Put your money into something. Think for the future, because we're not going to be athletes all our lives. We're not going to be getting these big checks. Man, I just made $250,000 on this fight. Boom, yeah. My next fight in 6 months, I'm going to make $350,000. Yeah. You feeling good and comfortable. And then boom, you lose that fight. You lose another one. Yo, $15,000 for your next fight.
Wow.
You know what I mean? $10,000. That happened to me, yo. I fought my first loss to Tomas Adam. Good fight, barn burner. I was world champion. He took my title. That fight was for $250,000. I'm with Don King, and this is the issue with him. My next fight was within about July, from December to July, about another 6 months. My next fight was $25,000.
Wow.
25K, bro. And me and my wife, we had a house picked out in Vegas, 3-car garage. Dope. Oh my God. That house was dope. $400,000 house. And I'm like, yeah, after this fight, we moving to Vegas because I'm winning. I'm gonna win, and we got another 300,000 coming. Yeah. Man, I lost that fight. I knew my next person was gonna be low just because I'm the way Don did me, So I'm just like, yeah. So we didn't move. It's all good though.
Yeah, no. It's all good because the guy opened up other doors for you.
Yeah,
and you still maneuvering. How do you handle the pressures of being a role model to these aspiring boxers?
You know what? I know that's what comes with it. I know people and kids, the youth boxers, even some adults, they look up to me. I don't let it affect the way I move a lot. I understand that they're watching, and I'm just be me. I'm just be me. Now there are times, at these tournaments, I flip out. They rob my sons. I go at them judges. You're a role model. Hey, well, I'm gonna show these kids that don't stand for anything. You know what I mean? Don't sit for anything. Stand up. Say something. People have this they have this box they want to put you in when you're a role model. You know, I didn't sign up to be. I didn't sign any contract that said I'm gonna be a role model too. I signed up to be a fighter and a world champ. But like I said, I understand that comes with getting to that level. So, but I just try to keep it. I just try to stay as real as possible. You know, and if somebody want to question me about anything that I've said or done, then I'll explain to them. This is what this is. This is why I did that. If you want to take that, if your kid sees that and still doesn't like me, I can't help it. But they, you know, the role model thing, I do take it. I do take it serious though. I do take it serious. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it, you know, because I know I can inspire. I have inspired. Shoot, there's a light heavyweight who's undefeated, kicking butt right now, who said I was the inspiration for him becoming a boxer. I had a couple guys like, you know what I'm saying? Atif Overton, you know. I went to his school and spoke with my belt years ago. And he was like, yo, man, you know, you the reason I became a boxer. You know, I was just like, wow, you know, stuff like that. So, you know, I'm cool. I'm totally cool with being a role model, man. It's just I don't, I'm not gonna walk a certain line that people want me to walk to fit into their role model box. You know what I mean?
We need more role models and mentors like yourself, because there's a lot of them out there that are guiding our young in the wrong direction. You know, they showing them we ain't gotta say it, man, but they throwing out money, you know, and a lot of them they showing these chains, which we know social media is bad, because social media, these guys are showing this, but then they could still be living with their mom. You know what I mean? They could be living with their girl. They could be, you know, on a couch or whatever. So you know, brother, I appreciate you for doing that. I got a couple more questions before we wrap up.
Yeah.
What does it truly mean to be a champion in your eyes, Steve?
Wow, a champion. Are we? Let's stick with just boxing, right? So, it truly means to be a champion is like the key word here is determination. Be determined. Be determined at what you're doing, in what you're doing. To be a champion, what it means to me to be a champion is to be the best. Is to say I'm the best, and I'm willing to fight those who are coming to claim that they are the best also. You know, we're in this era where amongst these fighters, they don't want to fight each other. It's all about money, just money. And I get it, get as much as you can, but let's make these fights happen. You know, you're not the best. Tank, you can't say you're the best. Shakur, you can't say you're the best. You turned down the fight with Devin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For money. Devin's the best. Devin is the man, you know. I'd give an arm and leg for the amount of money that these dudes was getting offered to fight for those belts. You know what I mean? So being the best is being able to say that you fought the best and you're willing to fight whoever comes up and say they're the best. That's what champion is to me.
Do you have any sponsors, any people you like to shout out right now?
Just sponsor Title Boxing, man. Big shout out to Title Boxing. Yo, they are the best, man. They've been there for and with me when certain other, I'm not going to mention these names, but in certain other boxing equipment companies just let us go after a loss. You know, certain other boxing equipment companies didn't give us certain things. Title just gave us everything we needed, everything. There you go, boom. You know, and it was great, and they believed in us. They believed in us. So shout out to Title Boxing, man. That's basically it right there for me with the sponsors. They've been there for us for years.
Title is super dope. Shout out to my man Doug Ward. You know Doug?
Shout out to Doug. Oh yeah, Doug. I love Doug, man. That's my
Doug. He is. He's a good guy, man. And how can people find you? You know, on social media. So blurt out your social media outlets. How they can get in contact with you, USS.
Yeah. On Instagram, I'm USS is legend, all one word. On Twitter, I guess what they call it, X now. USS Cunningham. Facebook, Steve Cunningham. I also, for the I make comic books. I turn boxers into superheroes. That's USS Comics on all platforms. Twitter, TikTok, USS is legend, TikTok, Instagram, and just Steve Cunningham everywhere else, bro.
I do want to ask you this. Who is your favorite comic book hero?
My
Your
favorite
top,
comic book
your top three,
hero.
your top three, your
All right,
top
all right,
three.
all right. Top three. I'll give my best at the
All right,
last.
so hold on.
Wolverine.
So hold on,
Okay.
hold on. So it can be either Marvel or DC, whoever you
Yeah,
like. All right.
most definitely. I'll give Wolverine number three, the least.
Okay.
Superman, most definitely number two.
Okay.
And number one, Magneto.
Magneto was hard, man. Magneto
Exactly.
was hard. Have you seen that new?
Exactly.
Have you seen that new X-Men that they came out with, X-Men '97
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Disney?
Yeah,
Woo.
and he was that the one? Oh no. I'm thinking comic book. But yeah, I saw that too.
Okay.
Magneto vicious, yo. And in this world of everything being magnetized and having an electromagnetic field, our bodies, we produce electromagnetic fields. Man, he can control. He's the strongest mutant ever, yo. Like if you look at it, dude can tilt the Earth off his axis if he wanted to. I just love Magneto, man, and his mindset. The owner or the creator of Magneto said that Xavier was modeled after Martin Luther King, and he said Magneto was modeled after Malcolm X.
Really?
Love it, man. Yeah, bro. Yeah, that's some real stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, they said they did that. I was like, wow, because they were, remember they were created right after or during that time in the 60s.
Right.
And Magneto is just like Malcolm X. By any means necessary, they come at us, we destroy them.
Straight up take them off the map.
Professor X is the non-violent guy. You know what I mean? So I was like, wow, that's fire. It's dope. I'm a
Hey.
Malcolm X guy.
Hey, facts. For real. Straight up, man.
Yeah.
Hey, well, I take it that's a wrap with insightful episode of Coach Stokes's Champions Creed. A huge thank you to our guest, two-time World Cruiserweight Champion, Steve USA Cunningham. Salute back to you, brother.
All right, fellas. Peace.
Thank you for sharing your wisdom and experiences with us.
All
From his humble beginnings to the U.S. Navy to conquering the world of professional boxing, Cunningham's journey exemplifies the true spirit of a champion. Join us next time as we continue to explore the mindset of a champion. Until then, stay inspired and keep chasing your dreams. Always remember what makes a champion: the foods you eat, the times you sleep, the friends you keep, the knowledge you seek, and the words you speak. My name is Coach Stokes, and I'm out.